Hi everyone, Gareth here, BigFriendlyWarGamer. Just sort of do this little bit of a video before I start my painting today. We got told last night that our gaming club, the Battle of Britain Club in Uxbridge, is due to be shut down in July. Obviously none of us are happy about that. We're looking into things we can do, alternatives as well. It just means that I'm not going to be gaming after that, because where is there to game? So I wanted to put this out because none of us are happy about it. There's a Facebook site which I'll post the link below in the comments if I remember. I should remember. If you watch any of my videos, click on the link and have a look. There'll be what's it called? A petition going up eventually. Please sign it. We love the Battle of Britain Club and we want to stay where we are. They're home to loads of events. They're not just wargaming. They have birthdays and weddings and funerals and everything there. It's a really nice place. It's a nice community place. It's built on a site where they've just built a new housing development, and the housing developers want to destroy it, and it's not on. I mean, there's issues, but it's a nice place. So please click on the link below and have a look. And thank you for anyone who supports us in trying to save the Battle of Britain Club. Thank you very much. Hi everyone, it's me. I'm back again. I've just done my little intro thing, and I'm going to start with my painting. You probably just listened to me rant for a few minutes about the Battle of Britain Club, which we're all kind of bummed about, but we will get things sorted hopefully. And I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to sit and paint for about an hour and talk crap, because that's what I do. Generally I talk about what I've got on my painting desk at first. Let's get all this gold paint off my fingers, that would be good. So at the moment I have, yeah, that's the right water. I have 4 Chaos Familiars from Silver Tower. I only know 2 of their names, I can't remember the other 2. The book guy that I've got right in front of me here is called Blot. We've got a little guy who thinks he's a greater demon who's called Twerk, and the other 2 I have no clue what their names are. I'll find out when I start painting them, I'm sure. We also have 4 Karak Acolytes, plus a fully painted one so I can keep track of what I'm doing. And we have a lot of other stuff. I built some Space Marine Scouts over the weekend, so they're all 10 of them are sitting on my desk. I built some metal models as well. So we've got Mad Donna from Necromunda, and we've got Cal Jericho and Scabs from Necromunda as well. I just built them at the weekend because I was at a loose end and I just built some stuff. Then we have my Demon Prince, who's right underneath the camera down here, who I've had to re-glue. He was falling off his base and his wing fell off. We have my 2 Catan Shards for Necromunda, which are these guys here. You can barely see, they're not quite in camera. So we've got the Nightbringer, who's actually finished. He was taken out of a case because I needed some space. And we have the Deceiver, who's not even started, he's undercoated, that's it. And we have a load of crap, a load of other stuff that I always seem to have on my desk. So yeah, it's the painting's coming on okay. Last week I started my Necron Warriors on the Tuesday. I finished them on the Friday, the 5 of them. And then I carried on and I painted another 5 over the weekend, so I got 10 of them painted. So I'm 10 models short, 10 warriors short now of my 2,000 point army. And 2 Doomsday Arcs as well. But it's coming on fairly well. I had another 2 games with my Necrons yesterday and lost both. Like, I'm pretty certain my army isn't a powerful army. Against the right things, I think against Space Marines they'd be quite powerful. Against most other things, they're not really. And it may be my tactics, I may be playing them wrong. But I'm not changing the army now. Because it means painting more stuff. Well, it wouldn't mean painting more stuff. I may swap out a couple of squads. I've got a squad of Immortals and a squad of Death Marks. I may swap them out purely because they're not pulling their weight. The Immortals with their Tesla are not particularly great. Great for killing hordes of stuff, but everything else they're not really. And the Death Marks are a fairly expensive unit. They're 95 points or so for 5. And yeah, they can pull their weight from time to time, but generally speaking, they drop down, don't kill their target, and die. So they're not great. And I figured if I could drop them, it would get me about 200 points. It'd probably get me over 200 points to spare. And I could bring something that packs a bit more of a punch. Maybe a Truck Stalker. I don't know yet. But I'll have a play around. I'll try some other configurations and we'll see. One thing I know I'm not doing anymore, I tried it yesterday, is splitting my heavy destroyer off from my destroyers. The extra command point it gave me wasn't worth losing a victory point for. I lost first blood because of it. And again, my tactics are probably a load of crap, but still. So yeah, so my week's been a bit up and down. Back to work on Tuesday as per usual, like I am tonight as well. My work was okay. It wasn't particularly messy or anything. It was fine. I then got the email from Games Workshop on Friday, right before I went to work, saying that I didn't get the job, which, okay, is a bit of a disappointment, but what was I expecting, you know? Fucking life. Yeah, so that got me down a lot, but I've got to carry on, I suppose. What was ever going to happen? I was going to get stuck in the job that I can't stand, but anyway. But yeah, the big shock was that last night, being told about the Battle of Britain Club closing on the 9th of July. As you guys probably know by now if you watch these, I help run the club. I help run the gaming club that's based there. The people that run the actual club itself, I believe, have been working there for 25 years, and they got told yesterday as well. Not a lot of warning or time to actually sort anything out, but we're trying to action to some things. It's frustrating because the local council, they've just built this housing estate right next door, St Andrews Park, and now all the residents there are demanding that the Battle of Britain Club is removed. And it's like, but hold on, these people have just got there and they're demanding that something that's been there for 75 years is removed. What is going on? It's a load of crap. But what can we do? The voice of the people doesn't do anything anymore. But I'm not going to get hung up on that painting today. I've got to get on and do stuff, because like I said, we're putting stuff into action. We're hoping that it will help, but we're not guaranteed that it will. And everyone's fighting it, so we'll see. This local council is a bit bullshit. What can you do? So I've just finished the first layer on the gold. Basically all I do now is I edge highlight the gold on these two familiars. I'll give you a bit of a close up on them. They're quite small models, and they're going to be fairly quick to finish. I'll do this once I clean my palette up. I had this whole plan of what to put into my video today in my head, and with what we got told last night, it's all gone out of my head. So I'm gonna be rambling like I always do. Okay, so Blot is basically, he's a book with legs and a tail. So it looks pretty cool. And Twerk is a little dude who thinks he's a really big Lord of Change. He's not a Lord of Change, he's just a little Twerk. So yeah, but it's cool. And what we're going to do is, while I'm waiting for that gold to dry, we are going to start painting these other guys, I think. So we've got another guy who's basically, he's got a moon face and he's carrying a skull. Let's see if I can make this so it's more visible. Probably not, I think the white's too stark, but... And then we've got the walking fish. I can't remember their names at all, but I'll find out at some point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the edge highlighting on the gold. It should be dry enough for me to do that now. The only problem I've got is my Roomfang steel is nearly finished. So I need to get some more of this. I'm running out of paints left, right and centre at the moment. And the thing is, I'm trying to hold on until Christmas so I can buy myself my paint set again. Excuse me. Oh, a bit of a dodgy throat again. Nothing new. Okay, that should be okay. It's literally, I'm literally the last bits of this paint pot now. Yeah, it's the painting's coming on fairly well. I hit 17 for last month now. I'm on 77 for the year. I'm about 25 or so ahead of where I was last year and the year before. Last year in May I had a bit of a slow month. No, April and May I had a slow month. I painted one model last year in April and May. So getting these two finished will double what I did last year in May. So yeah. And I'm back in it again. I'm back in enjoying my painting again. That's why I'm painting little random dudes that look a bit weird. But yeah, I mean, not much else happened over the weekend. I watched the Formula 1, and it was a bit of a crazy Grand Prix. Hamilton won right at the end, which was a bit disappointing because we don't like Lewis Hamilton. He's a bit of a me calling him a whinger. That's funny. But yeah, he's a bit of a knob. And Man U beat I can't even remember who we played now. But we won. We beat Arsenal. We beat Arsenal. Beat them 2-1. So that's quite cool. I think it puts United on needing 4 points to finish second now. Like, we were never going to finish first. City were too far ahead, unfortunately, because I hate City. But hey, at least it's not Liverpool or Leeds winning the title. Anyway. So yeah, while I was watching the Grand Prix and all that, I generally, while I'm watching sports, I build models. So I was building my scouts. I was building my Lehman Russ model, who's still in the box because he's not quite finished. I don't want to fully assemble him because I've always had this idea of painting all the Primark models from Forge World and having them on a display. And Lehman Russ, I'm probably never going to collect a Space Wolf army. So I'm going to properly glue him into his display base, I think. And I'm really going to go to town on him. I'm going to put everything I can into him. I know I kind of did that with Angron as well, but Angron was my gaming Primarch. He was always going to be a gaming Primarch. I kind of wrecked his display base when I was borrowing bits for other things. I'm sure at some point, if the Battle of Britain Club goes the way it looks like it's going to go, I'm going to have a lot of painting time on my hands. Unfortunately, it would just mean that I'm painting towards just painting again, because I won't be doing a lot of game. I'll be doing practically no gaming at all, which is a big shame. Unless we could set something else up. So yeah, I'll have a lot more painting time to get under my belt. It may put me off painting a little bit because I'll have no end target, if you know what I mean. But we'll see. And like I said, I wanted to paint. I had this idea of painting all the Primarchs a while ago, having a big display base with all of them on. I started before I even started actually collecting Heresy 30k. I bought two of the Primarchs anyway, which was Fulgrim and Angron. Fulgrim's still sitting in his box. Apparently, he's missing a head. But anyway. And Angron I used for my World Eaters because I decided to collect World Eaters. But we'll see. See how things go. Like I said, I'm going to have a lot more painting time on my hands. Since I won't be going out on Mondays anymore. So we won't have a club to go to. And like I said, like I've said before, the gaming club is really the only socialising I do. So it will kind of kill my social life, which I'm not happy about, because I'll go back to being the recluse wargamer again, which isn't a good thing. So I'll have to see what I can do. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to being the quiet guy who paints stuff, puts it in cases, doesn't have a game with them. And I know people will say, but you could go to events and tournaments and whatever. I don't want to play 40k like that. I want to play 40k just as a laugh. I don't want to get... I'm getting beaten every game at the moment anyway, but I don't want to do that. So that'll never be me. I play for a laugh. I try to run a narrative when I play 40k. It's just a bit frustrating at the moment with what's going on. Okay, so I finished the silver on the silver edge highlight on the gold. People will say, why have you edge highlighted silver? You'll see in a little while. I've got this way of painting gold that I really like. I've just got to find my wash, which is that one. I made this wash up. It's called World Eater because I use it for my World Eaters. It's a mix of blue, black, medium and a bit of water. It's like a dark blue shade, but it's thinned out quite a lot. And I use it for painting gold. I use it for shading the pre-shading the white on my World Eaters. I use it for painting white. I believe the white on this guy has it on. So yeah, I like it a lot, and I'm sticking with it. I think I've got 2 more pots of it, or maybe 1 more pot. I've got to make some more up at some point. But we will get to that when it needs be. I think what's more in need of sorting out at the moment is my paints. So yeah, I'm pretty sure at Christmas I'm going to go for the Ultimate Paint set. It's a lot of money, but I get a lot of use out of it, so why would I not? And then I might donate all the rest of my paints to my nephew. I'll see. Okay, so before I do the shade, I've got to kill a bit more time. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure. Let's paint. No, because that's get covered by the blue as well. Bit stock. Let's do the pages for blot. Again, painting it rack off flesh. I think this is another paint that I'm nearly out of. No, there's some in there, but there's not a lot. Again, we're going to get a bit of water on the brush, a bit of paint on the brush, and we can put it on the palette. Well, I want this quite thin because I'm going to do a couple of layers of it. I don't want it clogging the detail too much because there's some really fine detail on his pages. And it's painted black, so I need to do 2 layers anyway. I undercoat everything black if I can. The exception being my world eaters, who are all white. So white, they must be all white. Dodgy imitations. Okay. So I'm going to paint this all over the pages of the book. And I'll show you afterwards. It's the black shows through quite a bit, but the second coat will sort that out because this is a base paint anyway. Right in there. Try not to get it on the gold. Although some of the gold has spilled onto the pages of the book. That's okay, because it's rack off flesh will eventually go over that. Basically, these familiars, they when you get unexpected events in Silver Tower, there's a chance that one of these guys will show up, and basically they cause your group of warriors a bit of a problem until someone decides to catch them, and they either catch them or they don't. In which case, if they don't catch them, they run away, and they put like a curse on them, on the warrior that tried. But if you catch them, they give you a boon, which is like re-rolling to hit or something like that, or extra treasure cards or that kind of thing. Generally speaking, it's quite cool. But yeah, when I was painting over the weekend, I was trying to. Well, I did watch Mini Wargaming's Dark Heresy. The 2 that I've missed, that I hadn't needed to catch up on. I've watched both of them. But I'm trying to get back into painting while I've got music on. Because I find when I'm watching YouTube, it's distracting me a bit too much. So yeah, going back to the listening to music while I paint is probably a good thing. Although I found when I plug my iPod in to my hi-fi, the music seems really flat. So I went back to using my CDs because I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. I like my CD collection. So yeah, so this Demon Prince, I painted him ages ago, and he's still a bit dodgy on his base. He actually could do with being coming off and starting again with the base. I painted him quite a while ago. He's painted in mostly reds. He's a Corn Demon Prince. He's going to go with my my Corn Demons Actually, he's not. He's going to go in my Black Legion army. So I want to clean up his black armour. It's where the red spilled over. But I want to finish the red first. I want to make the red look like it's glowing a bit. So he's got like cracks on his armour, if you can see on his arm there. And his shoulder pad. I don't know if you could see. He's got like cracks in it. I want to make it look like it's glowing. His armour's glowing. And then I'll tidy up the black and highlight it. But I'm kind of happy with how he's turned out so far. He could do with another edge highlight, I think. And then just needs a bit of strengthening with the red. I'm not planning on doing that today though. I want to get these guys finished. And then I'll carry on painting, and I'll get on with the Karak Acolytes later. So yeah, try and get this to dry a little bit quicker. So this week I'm back to work again. The weekend I've got no plans. There's no football on that I plan to watch. I don't think there's a Grand Prix. It's going to be a bit lame. I may even go to Uxbridge on Sunday. Go and painting games workshop for a bit with some friends. Spread the word about the Battle of Britain Club. We'll see. So doing the second layer on blot on his pages. Again, just going to go gently around the edges. Don't want to fill in too much detail. And these guys are really tiny. I'll show you. I'll compare them to a normal sized guy in a minute. Well, they're supposed to be tiny. They're difficult to catch. They're basically familiars. They don't fight or anything like that in the game in Silver Tower. So yeah, and I'm painting these. I've gone through a few different ideas of what I wanted to do with these familiars. Blot is quite easy. He's a walking book. There's not much else to it than that. I wanted to paint him purple because it looks cool. Makes him stand out, like, because his scene she should really be blue, but if I paint too much blue on the actual models themselves, they don't stand out from the bases enough. So I wanted to give him a bit of a look. I may paint it because there's 2 in each Silver Tower set. And I may paint them different colours. Why there's 2 I don't know, but because you can't have two of the model on the board at the same time. But anyway, but yeah, I'm going to paint him slightly differently. I'm going to make it look like the book's on fire to make it look a bit cooler. And probably covered in blood. I don't know yet. And the other twerk, he's going to be painted a bit differently as well, but I don't know how I'm going to do that yet either. So we've done the pages. I'm going to have a bit of a drink once I clean my palette off, and may stop for a second and go to the toilet. Let's grab a bit more water, because I remembered my water again today. I don't normally do that. But what I'm going to do before I go for a second is going to glaze the gold, the blue on the base, and the gold on the book. And this glaze, it kind of catches everything. I like it. Like I said, I like it a lot, but it's because I made it. So we're going to put some on the palette. It should be enough, and we're just going to add some water to thin it down quite a bit. That should be enough. Then basically we're going to start with twerk, because I painted him ages ago. And we're just going to go all over the base and give it a nice a bit of shade to it, and it brings out the silver on the gold quite a lot. You wouldn't think it would, but it really does. And it's I like it. I've just got to make sure it doesn't pull too much. So yep, that's fine. And then we're going to do blotch base. He's got some really dark recesses on his base, so really deep recesses, sorry. So I'm just putting a bit more shade into them. Even now, this isn't really a shade, it's a glaze. The difference between shades and a glaze is shades fall into the recesses a lot. Glazes tend to sit on the surface. And that's his base done. Not pulling too much either. And we're going to put, I actually need a smaller brush for this. We're going to put some on the gold on his book, just to make him stand out a bit more. Licking my brushes again, a bad habit, but I'm going to keep doing it because it's what I do. And the gold on his book is just going to get a little bit of a glaze as well. What it basically does, the blue will fall into the recesses and provide a bit more shading on the gold, but then it also helps the silver stand out a bit more. So it really looks like it's a big tome, if you know what I mean. This is exactly what I'm going for. Mystic tome. And as you can probably see, the purples on here I completed over the weekend. But yeah, I was really happy with how much I got painted over the weekend. Getting the 10 warriors painted in a week was really good for me. I mean, considering that they're a bit of a pain to paint, I just gritted my teeth and got on with it. I'd done it, so I was happy with how that worked out. A little marking on his tail. Okay, so his glaze is finished. Gives a bit of a shine to the gold, which I like. And now I'm going to have to wait for the glazes to dry before I can do anything else, really. So what I will do is I'll stop it there for a second, or a few minutes. It will be less than a second for you, I'm sure. The wonders of YouTube. But I will be back. If I stop dropping stuff, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, sorry about that, I'm back again. So I've got some more paints out and stuff. I've got ideas of how I'm going to do this. So we're going to paint the pages of the book. A bit of Agrax Surfshade. This basically, I'm using my wash brush because it's big enough. It's the pages, so there's quite a big part of the model. I don't want my brush to be wet really, because I want straight Agrax, and put it on the palette like I always do. And we're going to go and shade the pages. So I'm looking for, the book itself is going to be quite obviously demonic tome, and the pages inside are going for quite a worn look. So this is an old book, obviously, and so yeah, just applying this Agrax all over. May even do this in 2 coats rather than 1, because I want it to look quite old, but I think that's okay. Okay, I think I like that. So while that guy's drying, I'm going to go and paint a bit more twerk. A little twerk. Or tweak, or however you pronounce his name. Either way, he's a very small greater demon. What we're going to do is we're going to go with a bit of carrot stone. Just going to basically paint the underside, paint his neck in a bit of carrot stone. which hopefully is still usable paint because it's quite thick. It hasn't been used for a while. Yeah, it's fine. Watering it down as you should. Again, this is probably going to be 2 layers because I'm doing it over blue. But there's not a lot of it. Like, there's very little of his neck visible. We go with that brush. So basically, I'm just gonna keep his neck a little bit and just slightly under his chin. If you see birds and cats and stuff, they have like a fur or feather generally under their neck and their belly. So this is what I'm aiming for with this guy. It's very, very small amount of it anyway. Basically, this is how I think a Greater Demon would be painted. The Lord of Change. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry and I'm going to give it another coat. So yeah, I mean, we've got the tournament coming up, which is actually I've been getting the date wrong. It's the middle weekend in June. So I've got roughly 6. I've got 5 and a bit weeks now to get my army painted, which that's not a problem. Just out of interest, if you can see that, do you see the shine on the gold? That's how I do my gold. I'm really happy with how I do my gold, so I'm not changing it for anyone. It just gives it a bit of a blue look, but it ties everything together. And as you can see from this guy, his is a bit more. It's a bigger base, obviously, more detail. All of these bases, they're the Shattered Dominion bases from Games Workshop, and they tie in really well to the Silver Tower board set. Again, a game that I may never get to play again. Yeah. But anyway, Silver Tower is more playable than the tabletop games purely because you could set it up in a pub on a table and play it. I think. So it's not too bad. I mean, it is what it is. Sorry, I keep going back to that. It's getting on my nerves. So yeah. So just waiting for this. That should be dry enough now for his second coat. Because the things with these paints is like they take practically no time to dry, especially when you're applying so little of it like I am here. Let's go over it again. Nice rough. I'm not doing it so there's a straight line to any of it. It's quite a rough dabbing of paint, if you will. Okay, and I think we're good with that. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Blot again, and I'm just going to edge highlight the book, give it a bit more of a demonic look to it, shall we say. And when I'm painting this stuff, like don't get ideas that this is all my idea of how to paint these. I use painting guides and stuff. People will say, "Oh, that's cheating." Oh, it's not cheating at all. Whatever it takes to get your models done. You know, if you need to sit there and listen to someone telling you how to paint a model, it's fine. Put your own spin on it if you like. Whatever. It's just whatever gets your models painted. It's good by me, and don't let other people tell you otherwise. So yeah, I'm going a bit with Gene Stealer purple on this. So a lot of people will say this is pink, but it's purple. I've got some pinks, don't use them very often, but I have got some pinks. I've got Screamer Pink, which I used a lot for Tyranids. So I want to paint some Tyranids at some point as well. So okay, and I've got my fine detail brush. This is while the Agrax is still drying, but this will go nowhere near the Agrax anyway, so it's not a problem. And basically all I'm going to do is just edge highlight the book. And I'm not going to edge highlight a lot of the book, so it's just basically the outer casing. And the bit by the spine. Sorry if I'm not talking during this, it's a bit of delicate paint work, so I've got to try and keep my hands steady. And the other side of the book. And that's about that. So yeah, his pages are looking fairly cool. Obviously there'll be some more stuff, like at some point I'll do some writing on it slightly. But we're going to go back to twerk again. Tweak, twerk, tweak. And we're going to start highlighting his blue. The blue on him. And we're going to use a bit of Calgar blue. Basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush him. Since he's such a small model, he doesn't need 100 different layers on him for it to look relatively good. Not like Blot. I wanted Blot to look cool because I love the model. The little walking book, it looks so cool. So what we've got is a bit of Calgar blue. So just enough, just a little bit, tiny little bit of water. Don't need water too much because it's dry brushing. And with this model it's going to be difficult to dry brush, so I'm using my tiny dry brush, my small one, which is still quite an old brush. Get dry brushing, get some paint on the brush. Yeah, we brush it off onto some tissue, most of it onto some tissue. There's practically nothing on there, so we're just going to go and just catch the raised edges of his feathers and stuff. I know I'll have to paint his beak at some point as well. With dry brushing, I mean, it's quite an easy technique. Anyone can do it more or less. I still use it purely because of the results that you get from it. I'm quite happy with the results, so I keep using it. And his hands, and now onto his legs. Like I said, it's a relatively small model, so it's you don't need to be mega neat with it. And then just onto his feet. Let's get the inside of the legs. And that's about it. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how that looks. He may get another edge highlight with skink blue, maybe. Well, I'm not sure. Let's see how dry this the blots pages are. I might try and do some more layers on that. Clean our palette as always. I've got paint all over my fingers again. Okay. So it's relatively dry. It still needs a bit more drying, I think. It's just the pages need doing on him now. Tidying up the black of the base, but it doesn't really need tidying. Same with Twerk. He's just got a few. He's got his dagger. He's got a little pouch of something, and I've got to do his like claws and stuff, and the under neck bit. So for now, I think I'm going to call it there. I know it's only been a short video, but I'm kind of my head's not in the game with the whole Battle of Britain Club thing. So yeah, I'm just going to call it there. Thank you very much for listening. If you've listened to this all the way through, I'll post the link in the Save the Battle of Britain Club. Hopefully they'll get a petition started. I know we've only got basically 2 months, but let's hope we can get something sorted out, because it's a nice place. There's a lot of events that happen there which people seem to be missing, but I don't understand why they are, because they live around the corner. But anyway, okay, right, thank you very much for listening. I'm BigFriendlyWarGamer as usual, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.